So, Chuck,
Yes.
we haven't talked about God in a while.
Oh, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's just that the history of civilization, anytime people had gods that they revered, they're in high places. The heavens have been associated
Right.
with deity
Correct.
from the beginning.
Right.
Okay. And so my field, astrophysics, directly confronts many people's questions regarding our existence.
Right.
For that reason.
Mommy, where's heaven? Oh, it's up there. No, it's not, because I have a telescope. It's not up there, Mommy.
Right. So you have that intersection
Right.
of people's curiosity and what actually happens in modern astrophysics.
Okay.
And if you are religious or prone to be religious,
Right.
it's
Which
easy.
I think everyone is.
But perhaps, yeah, we're
I
human.
think we're prone to
It's a
be. I don't-
human
doesn't-
thing.
It's a human thing.
Given how prevalent it has been.
Exactly. Throughout our entire existence.
Exactly.
And some of the earliest recordings of communication involve exactly that.
Correct. The burial rituals of Neanderthal, for example.
Right.
Right. You can only have done that if you thought there was an afterlife
Right.
or a supernatural force.
Yes.
There's an urge, I think, to see that which is unknown in the universe. You hear of it. Big unknowns like dark matter and dark energy. Two hugely mysterious pieces of modern astrophysics that are unresolved.
Right.
And they're not little, they're big.
Okay.
You add them together, it's 95, 96% of what is driving this universe, and we have no clue what it is.
That's insane.
No
Yeah.
clue.
That makes me feel like we're the mistake here. I'm just saying.
Because we're not the
Because
majority
we're
of what's
not
going on.
that. Yeah, when 97% of the stuff that's there is not you, you probably don't belong there. Yeah.
Damn, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Anyhow, so we can measure them. It's not a mystery that it's there.
That is there.
All right. We can measure their existence. We don't know what it is.
What it is.
All right. And there's precedent for that. We knew about the spectra of stars as soon as we were able to bring a spectroscope to the telescope.
Okay,
So there's interesting information here. We don't understand it, but we know it must be important. It's different for this star than that star.
Right.
Oh, these two stars match. Let's make a catalog of all the spectra. Later, we would learn quantum physics, and we could then interpret what was going on. And thus was the birth of our modern understanding of stellar evolution. The first steps are the measurements. So it's not so weird that we have measurements and don't know what it is.
Right.
So there's not only that, there are other questions that are just simply yet to be answered,
Okay.
as opposed to mysteries. So one of them is what was around before the Big Bang.
That's a
It
big
might
one.
have been a multiverse, but even if there is a multiverse, what was
Yeah,
around
the
before
one
the
before the
multiverse?
multiverse.
Okay. And we don't yet know how Earth went from organic molecules to self-replicating life.
Right.
All right. Earth figured it out. We haven't figured that out yet.
Right.
Granted, Earth took a couple 100 million years. All right.
Yeah.
And we're trying to do it in the lab overnight.
Right.
But still, that's a mystery.
And who knows how many failures over that couple 100 million years Earth had?
Good point.
You know?
Because they ain't left.
Well, they're not there.
They're not there. They didn't survive. So if you lean religious, you will see these mysteries as where God might reside.
Yes.
God is operating there.
Right.
And there's a long tradition of this, actually, but philosophers got wise to it, and they came up with a term for it. We've mentioned it on a couple of other
Absolutely.
of our explainers. God of the gaps.
God of the gaps.
The God of the gaps.
It's a very powerful concept.
And it's got the alliteration, so
Yes,
you're kind of
I do.
stuck
I
with
like
people. So it's the urge to declare that if there's something you don't understand about the universe, that God must be there with the puppet strings or with the forcing of what's going on.
Right.
And my favorite God of the gaps moment, can I tell you that? It was Ptolemy.
Okay.
Claudius Ptolemy, AD 150, in the margin of his greatest work, the Almagest.
Right.
Okay? Actually, just Almagest,
Right.
which is Arabic for
Math. Hi, I wrote a book called Math. Guess what's in it?
Almagest is the greatest. It's an Arabic translation of the greatest.
That's so cool.
And he masterfully codified the epicycles that he was sure planets traced in the sky
Really?
with Earth in the middle of the known universe.
Oh.
There's no other way to account for planets going backwards and
forwards.
With retrograde, we have words for it even.
Right.
Goes backwards, retrograde.
Right.
We think the planet's actually doing that.
That's why your washing machine's not working, because Mercury's in retrograde. Your phone stopped working? It's not gremlins. It's Mercury in retrograde.
I don't think Mercury cares about inanimate objects. I
Man,
think it only cares about people.
it speaks so highly of you. How could you say that?
So he does this, but
Right.
it's still kind of a mystery. Why would all that happen?
Exactly.
It's just doing it. I can account for it with my little epicycles. And he wrote in his margins, as I trace the windings to and fro of the heavenly bodies, I no longer touch earth with my feet. I stand in the presence of Zeus himself and take my fill of ambrosia.
Damn, he was just wrong on many accounts. He didn't even get the right God. He went with Zeus.
He's Greek. He's Greek, okay?
Yeah, no,
So
I get
give
it.
the man his religion.
All right.
Don't take away his religion.
Right,
And so that, for me, was the crowning moment of God of the Gaps.
right.
All right. So there are people who, to this day,
Which, by the way, I mean, before you go further, that's another iteration of how we experience God. He understood something was going on, but it inspired awe within him. And whenever somebody feels that sense of awe, they often want to attribute that to God.
correct, because it's beyond their grasp.
Right.
So this is, it's been going on forever,
Right.
this urge.
Yeah.
Okay. My caution there is, if that's how you define God, where science has yet to tread,
Right.
then God to you is an ever receding pocket of scientific ignorance.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, that's
If
sad.
you
That's
define
if you
God that way,
God
it's
that
an
way.
if statement.
Right.
So round two.
Round two.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Round two. All right. There are people who, they're not falling for the God of the gaps.
Right.
To them, God is everything.
Yeah.
Gaps and no gaps.
Right.
Okay? So that God, that's a different God. Okay?
Okay.
That's not just a God who's lurks,
Right.
where because science is an ever-moving frontier, right? One day we'll figure out dark matter, dark energy, and what happens to your God if that's what it was. All right?
Right. Okay.
So the people who say God is everything, that resembles greatly Spinoza's God. He suggested
Yeah.
that the very order of the universe, the operations of nature, everything we see, feel, and experience is God.
Okay. And now I know a lot of people who feel that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that would be Spinoza's God. And when Einstein was asked, does he believe in God? He said, if there's a God I believe in at all, I'm paraphrasing, it's Spinoza's God. Okay?
Right.
That's a different God from a God that is paying attention to your behavior. So as you come from that posture to gods that are more engaged with you and your existence,
Personally involved.
then these would be gods you pray to.
Okay.
You wouldn't pray to Spinoza's God. I just want to make it clear to people that when they say God,
Right.
God has very different meanings to different people,
There's a tiered
even throughout
perception
history.
of God.
Even throughout history.
Wow,
Correct.
that's great.
Correct.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
So far, this is great.
So a common God manifesting today in people's beliefs is a God that cares about them
Right.
and their health, wealth, and well-being,
Right.
and their prayers, and the like.
Right.
Okay. So there is a point of view that says this universe is so amazing. There had to be a God, an intelligence behind it.
The intelligent design people.
So in that case, they're not looking at a rock and saying there's intelligence behind it.
Right.
They're looking at something more complicated than they can understand
Right.
and saying, there's the intelligence.
Right.
All right. They look at the operations of a cell,
Yes.
all that going on in something that's microscopic. They're just
Exactly.
amazed by it. They're in awe
And awe.
of it. And so surely God is at work
Right.
around here.
Yeah.
Now, so one of them that went around for a while, and I found it very unconvincing, it was the laws of physics are exactly the way they need to be for us to be alive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, okay. If they were slightly different, then we wouldn't be here. Like if the charge on the electron or the value of the gravitational constant or the speed of light, you know, things like that. And they all configure to make matter and energy come together such that we can be alive in that universe.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, there's some people that even on a macro level, they're like, we live in the Goldilocks zone of these planets, and the other planets are dead as far as we're concerned.
As far as we know. That's
As
right.
far as we know.
So with all of these parameters in just the right way, in just the right place, people who are lean religious refer to it as the fine-tuning argument.
Interesting. Okay.
Everything's fine-tuned
Right.
to produce life,
Right.
human life.
Right.
Now, so
He's a God of precision that has placed things in this perfect
configuration,
kind of synchronicity.
Yes.
That
Okay.
all the gears mesh and everything works so that we get life.
And we pop out. Exactly.
Like,
I don't argue the fact that we have constants of nature that if they were slightly different, we wouldn't be here. I don't have an argument against that.
I mean, that's.
But my argument, however, is if whoever created the universe, if there's such an entity that did, why make a universe where we didn't show up for
13.8 billion years.
Right. Not only that, Earth was not born until the universe was already 8-9 billion years old.
Right.
And then life begins, single-celled organisms. Is this the God of that life? Okay. But that was 3.8 billion years ago. Humans in our current form last, 100,000 years or so, go to a million years, which is a drop in the bucket relative to the 4 billion.
For the 4 billion.
Billion.
Yeah. Right.
Millions, but to billions?
Right.
Okay. It seems like if you really wanted to make a universe that favored us, we would have shown up much earlier.
Sooner.
Much earlier.
Right.
I'm just thinking.
Right.
Just if you
want
want
the argument against that would be that there is no, because God exists outside of time and space, that what we see as 13.8 billion years is not measured by God.
Yeah. However, my issue there is not how long that is, but how long that is relative to us. That's all. That could be short to God.
Right.
But that means we're even shorter. Okay. So it does not
I see
look
what you're saying.
It does not look like the universe cared much about us for most of its existence.
Right.
That's my only point there.
I got you. Okay.
So the multiverse, each universe would have slightly different laws of physics. Quantum physics tells us this.
Right.
Okay. And would you exist in a universe where life could not exist? I'm waiting for your answer.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with no.
No, you're going to go with no.
I'm going to go with no.
Okay. Yeah. So we are alive in a universe among the infinitude created in a multiverse. We're alive in a universe for which life can happen as we have come to know it, life as we know it.
Right.
So we should not be surprised that we're having this conversation in that universe and not any of the other infinity universes. And this multiverse wasn't invented in response to a religious argument. It comes out of the math.
Comes out of quantum physics.
What comes out of quantum physics, you're trying to shotgun marry it to general relativity in the early universe, and you see what comes out of it, and a multiverse comes out of it. What makes that less appealing, if you're going to put God in the equation, is generally those gods have certain powers ascribed to them.
Well, they have to.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right? They're all powerful,
right,
all knowing,
right,
all good.
Right.
All right? These are common terms invoked. All I can say is that when I look at the universe, an asteroid strikes, rendering, 66 million years ago, 75% of the species of life on Earth went extinct.
That's because they were atheists.
Atheist dinosaurs.
Exactly.
So what am I saying? I'm just saying the universe doesn't look like anyone is in charge of anything.
The randomness of the universe.
The randomness of the 100 years ago.
So random.
100 years ago, before our telescopes were good enough
to
reveal asteroid strikes and stellar collisions and galactic collisions and all this, it was, the beauty and the majesty of this ordered universe.
Right.
I have books that talk about the ordered universe. And then you look closer and it does not look like what people wanted it to be, to match their expectations of the God they're ascribing its handiwork to be.
So it starts out as looking up like, look at this beautiful, ordered universe. and then you look closer and you're like, they shooting at us.
That's right. It's a shooting gallery. It's
trying to kill us.
Earth plows through several hundred tons of meteors a day in the leftovers of the solar system.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
Plus, on Earth, if I drop you butt naked in a random spot on Earth,
you're probably going to die.
You're going to die within a half hour.
Yeah.
Drop you in the ocean,
you're going to die.
2/3 of Earth and 3/4 is ocean.
Right.
Shark is going to take a bite out of you. Bye. You dead.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
If I drop you in the Arctic, there's not even land there.
Right.
You're just hors d'oeuvres for
polar bear.
Polar bears.
Yep.
So we say, well, Earth is a haven for life. After you've built cities and heat and air conditioning and clothing, and we say, oh, look how beautiful Earth is.
Right.
So we did a lot of work to make Earth comfortable for us.
Right.
And so I remain agnostic on this. I'm happy to listen to and look at information, evidence, data that might support an almighty, all-powerful being.
Right.
But the distinction is, if you want to say there's a being responsible for the universe, is that the same being who tells you how to pray, who to pray to, what day to pray on, what food to eat, what food to not eat, and who to sleep with?
And why can't it get it right? The fact that there's no uniformity in it is kind of a problem.
Well, it's not a problem for the people who are certain that their God is the one true God.
Well, that's the
right?
The problem. That is the problem.
But because everybody is sure that their God is the one. Right. Not everybody, but many people who are deeply religious in their tradition are.
Listen, I used to be one of them. I'm not. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. I have a great deal of compassion for people who are devout, and because
so do I.
Yeah.
I
know you do.
We've never been.
Conversation
it's never been a thing.
So,
I just want to openly have a conversation.
First of all, let me just say this, and I'm going to say this in your defense, in front of everybody. This is a conversation you and I have had offline.
Yeah.
People don't think that you have compassion for those who believe. They think that you're hostile to it, and what they don't know is that nothing could be further from the truth. And I've asked you point blank, is it possible that you could ever believe in God? And your answer was yes, and then you gave me the criteria for doing so. It wasn't all that deep.
Right.
It really wasn't all that deep. I was like, and guess what? And all I could say was, oh.
yeah. No, I gave one example. Like, okay, there's an elevation above which all plane crashes have ended in 100% dead people.
Right.
Okay, the distance that the plane falls out of the sky. Okay, there's an elevation above which no one has ever survived. Okay, imagine a plane where it crashes above that level and only the Christians survive and everybody else is dead. That things that make you go, only the Muslims survive.
Right.
Only the Zoroastrians survive.
Exactly.
So I could easily come up with a set of, that you want to test it several times. Once would not be sufficient.
No.
As in any scientific experiment. But I can come up with, it's not hard to do that.
Yeah.
And so my only point is an emergent sense of spirituality in people, because religions have been losing their adherents,
Yeah, people are not following religion as much.
but they'll still say that they're spiritual.
Right.
And these are people who feel that there's some force out there.
Something greater than themselves.
Greater than themselves. But it doesn't come with all of the rules and regulations and baggage, if dare I call it that comes with so many religions.
Right.
So I'm simply saying that the universe, if you want to say there's a God involved, ask yourself, is it because there's something you don't yet know how to explain?
Right. Right.
Like the person writhing on the floor, frothing at the mouth. So you go to your priest in a town where church is in walking distance.
Get an exorcism.
And they come, and they just enough time to get the holy water, perform the exorcism, and the person comes out of it.
And that's called a coincidence, because that's when the seizure was over.
The seizure, that's correct.
Right.
So that's an example of something that we didn't have an explanation for, quote, a natural explanation, but we had a supernatural explanation.
Right.
You were inhabited by the devil, right? So every example of that throughout history, where science has given attention to that phenomenon, it has yielded to scientific discovery. That's one thing, including the spread of disease,
everything.
Germs.
You cannot argue with that statement. I'm just
right. And so today, if there's something that amazes you or is mysterious to you, I just take my cue from the history of this exercise and say, I'm going to stick with the science.
Right.
Because I'm not compelled to throw my hands up and say,
this is God.
God must be in charge.
Right.
Be it Spinoza's God, or Pocahontas's God, or anybody's God.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, what I don't appreciate is sports stars who thank God when they win, don't blame God when they lose.
I tweeted that.
Did you?
And people got angry with me.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
And by the way, just to offer some street cred here.
Okay.
At home, I own multiple shelves, this wide, of religious books.
Oh, books.
Publications.
Yeah.
Everything the Jehovah's Witnesses ever left at my door.
I have that.
There's a shelf of that.
Right.
I have, there's the Quran multiple times.
I have a Quran.
And I have the...
And the Bible.
I have the Torah.
I don't have the Torah.
Yeah, you don't have the Torah. Yeah,
No,
okay.
I don't.
It's mostly the Old Testament.
Mostly in the Old Testament.
Exactly.
The Levitical law.
So it's there, and I have large King James Bibles that from the 18th century.
I have several Bibles.
Yeah. So I think about this often,
Yeah.
and I think about what passages have affected people in civilization and the like. In most conversations I get into with religious people, fact remains, I own more religious books than they own science books.
And you probably know more about their religion than they do.
Well, no, I wouldn't assert that.
No,
but
I would.
I'm just saying I know.
Yeah, you don't. I would.
I own more religious books than they own science books. That's true in essentially every case.
Yeah.
And so I'm not coming from nowhere. I think about it and I care about it.
What most people know about their religion, and I don't care if you come at me or not, okay? What most people know about their religion is what somebody told them.
That's true.
That's what most people know about their
own religions.
Right.
It's filtered, got filtered.
It's filtered.
Yes.
And so that's why I say you probably know more because you went straight to the source
and read.
read the text.
Correct.
Most people do not read the text.
I read the text.
Okay.
That's what I did.
That's all I'm saying. Be mad at me if you want. Okay.
But that's how I know.
I used to be one of you.
That's how I know.
Right.
That Joan of Arc, who's one of my heroes for standing up for what she believes, trying to get England out of France. She was trying to defend France. And they caught up with her, handed her over to the Burgundians. The region was under control by the Brits. And then the Brits tried her and burned her at the stake. But like for what? It can't be because she wasn't religious, because she was. Anyhow, go read the transcript of the trial. There's like, was it a third of it, a fourth? There's some large fraction of the conversation about how and why they should burn her that cites the fact that she was a cross-dresser.
Wow.
And where's that in the Bible? I got the quote. It's, a man should not don the clothes of a woman, nor a woman the clothes of a man, lest it be an abomination unto the Lord thy God. So people say, oh, they get their moral code. Generally, it's a cherry-picked set of codes. And you're using rational, really secular thought to say, that's messed up. Right. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But this is pretty good. Let me do some of that.
Yeah.
And then you bring that forward, and then that becomes your code.
Yeah. And I don't mind your code. I think it's great for the most part. Just, don't make me have to live by your code. That's all I'm saying.
If it's the weird parts. I mean, some code feels universal. Some of it does. Here's an interesting fact. In Christianity, generally, there's the ethos that you're kind to your neighbor. You're reflecting a lot of the teachings of Jesus.
Of course.
Turn the other cheek.
Absolutely.
This sort of thing. This fueled Martin Luther King.
It's radical. I love it.
Yeah, that was not in the Old Testament.
No, it's not in the Old Testament.
Right, right.
He's an angry old white dude in the Old Testament. Get off my lawn or I'll smite you. Guess what? Your wife, she's now a pillar of salt. I told that broad not to turn around. Okay? You gonna listen to me. I'm God and you gonna listen to me. No, you better build a boat because I'm gonna drown all these mother effers. You're all dying. Okay? I'm mad, I'm old, and I'm white. Okay? I'm God. Damn it.
Chuck as God. If Chuck were God, that's how he would describe it.
Yeah, but the New Testament is lovely.
Oh, yeah, it's very
I love it. It's gorgeous.
And everything.
It's just gorgeous. But all of Christianity, for those of you who think that it's political or it's stopping gay people or it's stopping this person or don't do this or don't do that, all of Christianity comes down to this. Love God with all your heart, soul, and might. Love your neighbor as yourself. How do you love yourself? The way God loves you. Love God with all your soul, heart, and might. That's how you love your neighbor. So first he tells you what to do, then he tells you how to do it. You love him with all your heart, soul, and might. Love your neighbor as yourself. How do you do that? The same way you love God. And that means up and across. It's all your heart, soul, and might wrapped up in love and given to another person. That is Christianity. Anything else is heresy, and you've been fooled.
Chuck, sometimes you sound like a preacher.
I'm gonna come out of the closet, Neil. I'm gonna come on out of the closet.
Uh-oh. Wait, you've been on the show for 14 years,
and I've
now
never
something's
said,
coming out of the closet.
Believe it or not,
Okay,
I've
what?
never said this, and I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I used to be a Pentecostal minister.
What?
I was on my way. I was studying. What? I'm technically ordained. I have not. I did not go through with it. I didn't finish up. But yes, if there was a time where I stood in a pulpit and I preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, I was the guy on the street with the bullhorn. I was the person handing you a tract.
Whoa.
That was me. When I say I was one of you, when I talk to religious people, I was beyond one of you.
You were more than one of them.
I was beyond one of you.
Wow.
I was a zealot. I was beyond.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Okay, so you got religious street cred here.
You know, I never talk about it.
Mhm.
I don't. It's a part of my life that, in many respects, brought me a lot of good.
Mhm.
It's a part of my life that was also, I think, damaging in some respects.
Mhm.
And I guess, I don't know, I'm still conflicted about it.
All right.
People ask me if I believe in God, and I will not tell you the answer. Gotta leave something on the table, right?
Are we done here?
You know what? I'm ready to. Let's take up a collection. I need some money. We need to take up a collection right now
for this sermon.
That's right. Yeah, Pastor Chuck needs a Mercedes Benz.
Right. So this was just an explainer, just to catch you up on what might be the latest thinking along the lines of how did the universe get here? Was it divine providence or some other way? Those are cool questions, some unanswered. Anyhow, until next time, as always, keep looking up.